I'd stayed home because I was out of a job now and I hadn't given up alcohol yet. So I stayed home and I was into, I don't know how many bottles of red wine. And I thought, this is too much. In fact, the last thing you'd want to be stuck with is me on a night out, because I'd be pissed, boring you, boxing you into a metaphorical corner and boring you rigid about the state of my drinking problem whilst drinking. So I think it was, oh God, give her a swerve, you'll get stuck. Anyway, I was drinking on my own. I realized that things have got to change. I've got to do something different here. And I had a moment of lucidity, if you like, in the fog of all the tannins of the red wine. And I went online and I Googled for rehabs, phoned a few up, booked myself in on one because Antonio had offered to lend me the money, and then sent a text to my mum, who's on holiday in the Lake District, and Antonio to say I'm booked in and I'm going on Friday, and then promptly passed out. When I woke up, Antonio was at the door. Mum was on her way back from the lakes. Obviously, it was a crisis point. And by the time she'd got there, we were thinking, well, you're going to rehab, that's good, because you're in a state. But they said to me, which one have you booked? And of course, I can't remember. I've done it in Blackout. So we then had to go through my Google history and ring every single one of them up until one of them said, yes, we're expecting Leanne Spencer on a Friday. So it's dark humour. And I, just for anyone listening, I absolutely am not making light of the terrible situation that alcoholism presents you in. But equally, when you're in it, sometimes you have to appreciate that sort of gallows humour, that dark humour. So, and by Friday, I checked myself in. So this would be early April at best, maybe end of March. I was actually in that rehab. Another little tip for anyone who may be considering rehab or is taking someone to rehab: do not let the drunk person pack their own bag. This is what I packed for 6 weeks at a rehab in Lowestoft on the east coast of England. A whole ton of books, mainly hardback, a hell of a lot of tampons, something I normally fail to pack when I go anywhere, a few bits of sports gear. You don't go to a gym. You're not allowed to a gym for at least, I think, the first 2 weeks. So you have no need of sports gear. And just about nothing else. No toiletries, no pajamas, no underwear. Just books, sports gear and tampons.
How comfy were the books to wear?
Oh, they were great. You can imagine, can't you? A bra made of books.
Especially hardbacks. It's
and
not
a necklace
going
of
to be good.
tampons, and yeah.
That's right.
And
Well, that is what you need, though, a necklace of tampons.
Well, it's just what you need. I mean, it's just what you need. So
Oh
yeah, the
God.
first thing I had to do is give someone my money, because you're not allowed to go out for the first 2 weeks. You have to be with a medically qualified person in case you fit alcohol-induced seizures, although they do medicate you against that risk. And also you have to build up a certain cachet of trust with the people running the rehab. So even when you can go out, you can only go out in groups of 3. The thinking being that the chances of all 3 of you absconding into a pub are quite slim. So the other 2 will police the one that's wavering. Anyway, the first thing I had to do is give my little purse of money, which was kept for me, to one of the people who worked in the rehab to go into Sports Direct and try and sort of guess my size. She came out with the most enormous tracksuit bottoms, the most enormous hoodies. Anyway, and buy me a few bits of basics and to keep me out properly. More funny than that is we were in the bus, the happy bus, taking us from the rehab back to the residential homes. This would be a few weeks in. And another lad arrives, pissed, of course, because everyone arrives pissed to rehab. What's the point in arriving sober? And he's come out there with a tiny little sort of overnight bag and his golf clubs. And that caused a lot of mirth, because you won't be swinging a club, mate. You definitely won't be getting 9 holes in. It is funny, though, what you think you're going to pack for a trip to rehab.
Yeah.